everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in GK Today's Academy Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in Academy Android application. So in this app course you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document and also category wise revision ebooks which are optimized for reading on your mobile itself. Apart from it, you are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. Please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 5th of October 2021. Starting with very first question. What is the name of the tourism application recently launched by the Delhi government? So the government of Delhi has recently launched a mobile app named as Dekho Meri Delhi. And this has been designed and built by the tourism department of Delhi government. So basically this app is designed to act as a one-stop center for all the tourism related information in Delhi. And it would also be a marketplace for tickets to all the major tourist destinations in Delhi. Okay. Now apart from it, recently our Union Minister of Home Affairs, who is also our Minister of Cooperation, Mr. Amit Shah, has recently attended the National Cooperative Conference, also called as Sahkarita Sammelan, there at New Delhi as chief guest. And he also announced that central government will soon come out with a new cooperative policy and work along with the states to strengthen the cooperative movement. Also, he told that government is working on setting up a cooperative common service centers, national database and a national cooperative university. Okay. Now apart from it, our Union Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav has virtually inaugurated the first functional smoke tower of India at Anand Vihar, New Delhi recently. And this tower would be used as air purifiers to decrease the air pollution, and usually it is done by forcing the air through filters. Now also, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav has launched a portal recently named as Pran. Why? To track the progress of National Clean Air Program in order to comply with India's commitment to ensure clean air and blue sky to everyone. Okay. Also do remember that International Day of Clean Air for Blue Sky was recently celebrated on 7th of September. And this year theme was Healthy Air, Healthy Planet, which basically emphasizes the health aspects of air pollution, especially considering the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. Now from September month, 3rd Saturday of September is quite important for two things. We celebrate International Red Panda Day on this day, and also it is important because on this day every year the International Coastal Cleanup Day is held. Why? To create awareness regarding protection of the ocean from the challenges that it faces every year. Fine. Can you tell me what was the theme for the International Coastal Cleanup Day for this year? Please write in the comment section. Question number 2. Where is the National Institute of Biotic Stress Tolerance located? So this is a deemed university under Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and it is located at Raipur. And this institution came into existence in the year 2012. Now why this institute is in news? Because the new campus of this institution at Raipur was dedicated to the nation by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and during the event the PM also dedicated 35 climate resilient crop varieties. Okay. Now last month Chhattisgarh government also launched Millet Mission with the objective of making the state a millet hub of India. and hence 14 districts of Chhattisgarh have signed a memorandum of understanding with Hyderabad-based Indian Institute of Millets, obviously to boost production of millets in their respective areas. Okay. Also, few days back, Chhattisgarh government launched Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Bhumihin Majdoor Nyay Yojana, and under this scheme 6,000 rupees will be provided to each of 12 lakh landless laborers to benefit them along with their families. Okay. Now you have to tell me Atmanirbhar Krishi Yojana and Atmanirbhar Bagwani Yojana belong to which particular state? Please write in the comment section. Also recently, Chhattisgarh has announced 4 new districts and 18 new tehsils in the state recently. So now after this announcement, there would be 32 districts. Can you name these districts? Please write in the comments. Question number 3. Which country has witnessed 48% women candidate victory in its recent general elections? So the general election results in Iceland have been a special event for the country since 48% of the winning candidates were women and 30 seats were won by women candidates. Okay. So this means that Iceland's parliament have the highest number of women's representatives in Europe. Fine. Finland has 47% women representation and Sweden has 465 women representations in their respective parliament. Okay. Now Iceland is also important because recently it has been ranked first in the Freedom on the Net report. Can you tell me what was the rank of India in this particular report? We have already covered it in the previous lectures. Now let's talk about some of the important reports and indices. First is World Press Freedom Index. In this, 180 countries were ranked, in which Norway topped, and it was further followed by Finland and Denmark, and India was ranked at 142. Okay. Then there is Global Peace Index. In this, India's rank was 135th out of 163, and Iceland was the most peaceful country. Do remember that Iceland is been the most peaceful country since the year 2008. Okay. Then next is Global Gender Gap Index. In this, India's rank was 140 out of 156 countries. So Iceland has topped this index for the 12th time, and India is the 3rd worst performer in South Asia. Okay. Also, one more important thing, India has been ranked 2nd in share of central bank surplus transfers, and the India's rank in Global Coronavirus Innovation Rankings is 32. Now you have to tell me what is the India's rank in Global Innovation Index. Please write in the comment section. Question number 4. Which country, one among the world's oldest republics, recently voted to legalize abortion? So a referendum for a proposal to allow abortion up to 12 weeks of pregnancy was conducted in the Republic of San Marino, and nearly 77% of the total voters backed the proposal and favored to allow the abortion. Okay. So till date, in the Republic of San Marino, ending pregnancy was illegal, and it invited an imprisonment of 3 years, and the one who carries out abortion gets an imprisonment of 6 years. Fine. Now in the previous lecture we have seen that recently Switzerland has legalized same-sex marriage, and with this it has become the 30th country in the world to do so. Now it allows the same-sex couples to adopt unrelated children, and for married lesbian couples to have children through sperm donation. Okay. And which is the first country to legalize same-sex marriage? It is Taiwan. Fine. Now apart from it, Vanuatu, which is a South Pacific Ocean nation made up of 80 islands, has recently moved to International Court of Justice to issue an opinion on the rights of present and future generations to be protected from the effects of climate change. Fine. Question number 5. Which new indicator has been incorporated in the Swachh Sarvekshan 2022? So the Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has launched the 7th edition of Swachh Sarvekshan 2022, which is the cleanliness survey conducted under Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. So now in the current edition of Swachh Sarvekshan, specific indicators on working conditions and livelihood of sanitation workers has been incorporated in order to recognize the contributions made by them during the pandemic. Okay. Now apart from it, the quarterly employment survey for the quarter 1 2021 to 2022 has been prepared by the Labour Bureau and released by Union Labour and Employment Minister Bhupendra Yadav recently. So this survey basically provides the employment related information and data of establishments in organized as well as in unorganized sectors in 9 selected sectors of the country. And which are these 9 sectors? Manufacturing, construction, trade, transport, education, health, accommodation and restaurant, IT, BPO and financial services. Fine. Now apart from it, the Union Ministry of Food Processing Industries in association with Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has launched the Seed Capital module on DAY NULM, means National Urban Livelihood Mission. So now using this portal, self-help group members can avail seed capital assistance of 40,000 rupees per member under the Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises scheme. Okay. So this amount is quite important here. Fine. Also recently, the Government of India has proposed to extend the term and applicability of Foreign Trade Policy 2015 to 2020 till March 2022. So this was earlier extended for 1 year till March 2021 and further to September 2021. And now for the third time, the term of policy is proposed to be extended. And this was announced by our Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. Okay. Question number 6. Which Indian tennis player won the Ostrava Open WTA 500 tournament 2021? So this is Sania Mirza along with her Chinese pair Shuai Zhang. Together they won the final match of Ostrava Open WTA 500 tournament in Czech Republic. So this was Sania Mirza's 43rd WTA doubles title on the tour, and it was also her first title of 2021 and her first big title since Brisbane in the year 2017. Okay. Now let's talk about some important things regarding Tokyo Paralympics, because definitely 1 or 2 questions might come in your exam from this section. First of all, Avani Lekhara is important because she won the country's first gold medal in shooting in women's 10-meter air rifle. Then there is Yogesh Kathunia. He has clinched the silver medal and he is a discus thrower. Then talking about javelin throw events, Devendra Jhajaria has won silver medal, while Sundar Singh has won the bronze medal. Also, Sumit Until won the gold in men's javelin at Tokyo Paralympics with a new world record of 68.55 meters. Okay. Now you have to tell me who has recently won the Belgian Grand Prix. Please write in the comments. Also do remember that British champion Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes has recently become the first F1 driver in the world to win 100 Grand Prix by winning the Russian Grand Prix at the Sochi track, and his 99th victory was Silverstone Grand Prix. So the 100th one is quite important. So this also made Lewis Hamilton clinch 5th Russian Grand Prix victory, and he had broken Michael's record of 91 wins last year, but now he has created this particular record. Okay. Question number 7. Weaver Services and Design Resource Center is said to be set up in which state or union territory? So recently, Union Minister of Commerce and Industry and Textiles, Piyush Goyal, announced that a Weaver Services and Design Resource Center will be set up in Kullu, Himachal Pradesh. So basically, it aims to encourage the handicraft products of Himachal Pradesh and provide a platform for export of these products in the international market. So talking about these handicraft products, the handkerchief of Chamba, then shawl from Kullu, and cap and shawl of Kinnor were given the GI tags. Fine. Now apart from it, Kaza, which is located in the Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh, has housed the world's highest electric charging station, and this station has been set up by the company named as GoEgo, which provides electric charging solutions and products, and the station is set up at a height of 500 feet above mean sea level. And also as a trial run, 2 electric scooters were charged at the station. Okay. Apart from it, recently Himachal Pradesh has started the Swarnim Rath Yatra to commemorate the Golden Jubilee year of statehood. So this Rath Yatra was proposed to be organized last year, but postponed obviously due to coronavirus pandemic. So a question might be asked that this particular Rath Yatra belongs to which state? The answer is Himachal Pradesh. Fine. Question number 8. Landsat 9, which was seen in the news recently, has been launched by which space agency? So recently NASA has launched a satellite named as Landsat 9 that has been built to monitor Earth's land surface, and it was successfully launched from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. So as a joint mission with the US Geological Survey, Landsat 9 lifted off on a United Launch Alliance's Atlas V rocket. So it is traveling to its final orbital altitude of 705 kilometers. Okay. Now one more important thing about NASA. NASA is set to send its first spacecraft to study Jupiter's Trojan asteroids, and this spacecraft will be launched from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Florida. And the particular spacecraft has been named as Lucy, and the mission Lucy will be launched with the objective of investigating the group of rocky bodies that are circling the Sun in 2 swamps, one preceding Jupiter and the other trailing behind it. Okay. Now apart from it, ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, in collaboration with IISc, that is Indian Institute of Science, has jointly developed a modular device to cultivate microorganisms in space. And the device uses LED and photodiode sensor combination to track microorganisms and bacteria growth. So this device would be used by astronauts to carry out biological experiments in outer space during our Gaganyaan mission, which is India's first crewed spacecraft. Okay. Question number 9. Which organization has recently launched a national level training program for women in dairy farming? So the National Commission for Women has launched a national level training and capacity building program for women in the field of dairy farming. Why? To make them financially independent. And for the training, the National Commission for Women has collaborated with many agricultural universities for rendering training in the fields of dairy farming and allied activities. Okay. Now apart from it, India's first toll-free helpline number 14567, called as Elder Line, was officially launched recently by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. So now the senior citizens can dial this particular number for information and guidance on legal, financial, health and social issues. So basically it aims to provide guidance, emotional support and immediate assistance in case of abuse. And already 17 states have opened the elder line and other states are in the row. Also do remember that Ordnance Factory Board has been dissolved from 1st October now, and now it will be converted into 7 new public sector units. So all the assets including the 41 factories and its employees of the Ordnance Factory Board would be transferred to the new PSUs which have been formed recently. Okay. Now coming to last question, who is the author of the book My Life in Full, Work, Family and Our Future? So this book has been written by Indra Nooyi, who is Indian American executive and former chairperson of PepsiCo. So she has narrated her life experience of settling in America, negotiating the boardroom, balancing work and family. She has also touched upon the role which organizations play in working women's lives. Okay, so this is the book of Indra Nooyi. Now let's talk about some of the important books and authors. Recently, Indian cricketer Suresh Raina has released his autobiography named as Believe, What Life and Cricket Taught Me. Then there is a book named as The Earth Spinner. It has been written by Anuradha Roy. Then How the Earth Got Its Beauty. It has been authored by Sudha Murthy. Now you have to tell me which of the two personalities have written a book named as Mission Domination, An Unfinished Quest. Please write in the comment section. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.